Kyler Murray is the new Minnesota Vikings quarterback one. He won the quarterback competition in Minnesota versus J.J. McCarthy. What does it mean for Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell, and the Vikings for the upcoming season? Can they have success with Kyler at quarterback, or will they eventually turn to J.J. McCarthy? I guess we'll have to find out. I believe Adam Schefter was the first guy to break the news that Kyler Murray was going to be the new Vikings quarterback. Obviously, Kyler Murray has had some struggles in Arizona towards the end, but he also had some good moments in Arizona. He was a borderline MVP candidate one season where they led the Cardinals to the playoffs. So he's had good moments in his career, and he's obviously had bad. Now, Kyler Murray does have bad habits that he has to fix, and we could talk about that all day. He runs around a lot. If Kevin O'Connell can make Kyler Murray play in structure, they have Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. They have some elite receivers and weapons in this offense with a great play caller. If he can make Kyler Murray play in structure, this could really work. I'm not going to lie. The thing I've always liked with Kyler Murray going to the Vikings is it's kind of a prove-it deal. He signed a really low one-year contract to the Vikings to basically prove himself that he can be a quarterback in the league. Obviously, he had the injuries and stuff like that with the Cardinals at the end, but he was not playing good football. So this is an opportunity for him to go into Minnesota with a great offensive mind and maybe progress as a quarterback. Maybe he's worked on some stuff with Kevin O'Connell where he can come in and really play well. That would be the best thing, because if he wants to keep playing in the NFL, he's going to need a good-sized contract. Not saying that if he doesn't play well, he won't get a contract next year. But if he wants a long-term deal, he has to play well with Minnesota. So this is make it or break it for Kyler. It's a huge season for him. I think if you're a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, I think the view that you have to look at it as is if we can get a close version of what Kyler did earlier in his career, the player that he was, and be more in structure, this team can win a lot of games. They have the potential to do something in this division, which is really tough. It's a really hard division to win. You have Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, so it's really hard. But I think with Kyler, if you can get that out of him, if you can get him to play well, what Sam Darnold did, and obviously he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, so it's a little bit harder to compare. He's a guy that did a great job in that Minnesota system. But if you can get something like that, you can be a playoff team this year. But it's a big if. For J.J. McCarthy, this is an interesting situation. He's a young player, young quarterback in the NFL. It can be a tough position to be in. I mean, we've seen guys like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, who struggled when they were in their young careers, but and then now are pretty good veteran quarterbacks. So can JJ have a career like that? I don't know. I don't think it's all over for him. I think some people will overreact to him obviously not winning this job. But I think it proves that JJ does have to get better and he has to come out. And maybe a move to a different situation, maybe on the horizon. I don't know if that will happen pretty fast, but if Kyler Murray balls out and he gets a long-term contract with the Vikings, you definitely think JJ will move on, and that would be pretty big in his career. He's really going to have to go somewhere and prove himself. But I think J.J. McCarthy, I still like him as a player. Obviously, the injury, I think, kind of derailed and set him back. It's not an excuse for him. But I think it's a really interesting storyline to what he does and what they decide to do with him, because the Vikings did draft this guy to be their franchise quarterback. But that'll do it for me. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.